Our next speaker is Mr. Raja Agarwal. Born and brought up in central India, Mr. Agarwal graduated from IIT Bombay. His passion for world exploration led him to Paris, where he spent 15 years in software development, consulting, and sales leadership roles at SAP and Microsoft. Currently, he is leading Microsoft Azure business in the Middle East. He'll be talking to us about the resurgence of AI, what's driving the popularity of AI in today's landscape.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I would say let's start with giving a big round of applause to all the speakers who came before me. So Astha, Gaurav, Anand, everyone, what a wonderful day of amazing content it has been. So thank you to everyone who came before me. I learned a lot today. So I'm Raja Agarwal. I lead a regional sales team which helps larger organizations in competing with you and in getting into the disruptive part of the business. Can I get the clicker, please? Yes, thank you very much. So in the next few minutes, I'll try to talk about why AI or the hype around AI is real, and connecting to the previous talk, while everybody is looking for the next big idea or where are we going to find a lot of money, I think a lot of money need to be made on AI. The world has become once again a level equaling field where any small organization can compete with the largest of organizations out there. So by the time I finish, I hope you get some inspiration and go home and do some things around it. I want to start with thanking all of you. The startup ecosystem, so the founders, the developers, the interns, the investors, everybody who's involved in the startup ecosystem for paying my bills for so many years. And you would think, why a B2B sales guy is thanking you for paying my bills? So one famous Indian banking CEO once said, I am not afraid of the other big banks in India. I know what ICICI, Axis and everybody else is doing. What I am most afraid of is a fintech startup coming and disrupting my business for me, or taking away the top 20% of my customers and giving them products that I am unable to give them. Having worked across Europe, Middle East, Africa, I can assure you this fear, this concern is genuinely real. This is the topic being discussed in the top boardrooms on how do we avoid getting disrupted by a much smaller organization. And in my role, I help large companies become the disruptees of their own industries before amazing people like you come and disrupt them. So thank you. Thank you for keeping them on the toes, keeping them working in different directions. So I think the world around us is changing in so many ways. Industries are transforming. Companies who used to sell products, now they want to become as a service organization. Everybody wants recurring sources of revenue and not one engagement with the customer where you sell, you get the revenue and goodbye. So all of us are talking about different sources of revenue becoming as a SaaS service. The economic drivers on what means you needed to grow a business have evolved rapidly, and largely thanks a lot to the technology that has come in the last 30, 40, 50 years. And even in itself, technology is reaching an inflection point and creating that level equaling field. So when we think about it, how many people in the room have talked about AI or ChatGPT in the last 7 days? Almost everyone, right? Everybody's talking about AI. Everybody's talking about AI. But sometimes it feels like it's a resurgence of AI. It's something new. We weren't talking so much about it. I'll take a personal example on this in a second, and to explain why it is not something that came in January when ChatGPT was launched. AI has been a field of study since the 1950s, where there are a lot of subfields of study, machine learning, which has image recognition in it, deep learning. What we came to know about AI recently is the generative AI piece, which is the latest, let's say, sub-child of the bigger artificial intelligence field, where a machine tries to mimics a human behavior or does something on our behalf. So just to take this example, so this is the first, I couldn't get a better picture, but I hope it gives an idea. This is the first painting I bought in my life when I was in Costa Rica. And when I was trying to buy this from the painter, as an Indian, I was trying to negotiate. So I asked him, how much time did it take you to paint this painting? Because I was trying to calculate the business case in my head. If this is $1,000, I'm willing to pay him, I don't know, $10, $20 per hour. It should have taken him X number of hours before making that decision. And he answered me very wisely. He said, it seems like your first purchase of a painting, so I'm going to answer this to you. But please don't ever ask a painter again this question. And his answer was very good. His answer was, it took me 30 years and 7 days to paint this painting. So 30 years of experience and 7 days to actually paint this. And the same thing has gone behind AI. It has been 70 years of research that we all and our parents and everyone around us have come to know about it in the last 5-6 months. So as a field, AI has been developed. There are a few use cases that I will talk about from our, let's say, personal professional lives, which will give you an idea on how there has been a lot of work that has been done, and there is a lot to be done for all of us to make a difference in our own small way. So why the hype is real? And I hope this graph will try to summarize using 7 different points or 7 dots. When they connect, they show us why the hype is real. And I'll go in details in them one by one. So there has been tremendous data growth. The computational power is growing, algorithms, talent. 2 things I'll go a little bit on is all of us becoming impatient. Just when I was coming here from Dubai, I always like to not use my iPhone when I'm sitting in a plane or something and observe people around me. And you see a lot of people, like how many things can they do in a few seconds? They switch between Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, so many apps they can switch within use of. So our attention span as a humanity have gone down tremendously. And every customer wants a personalized service. If you are buying a car, if you are buying whatever, you want a personalized service. But what is the biggest difference that is having a huge impact is the ability for us to diffuse the technology, for the ability for a company to build something in India and let's say able to reach Serbia, Mongolia or anywhere in the world. Just last night I had a dinner with a friend. His cousin in Ajmer is building a company. He was building it for Indian market. It's a digital startup. And he has seen a spike of usage of his services in Malaysia, Singapore and Indonesia, something he didn't even build for. But the ability for us to reach these different places in the world at a click of a button is just amazing. So when we look at the growth of GDP over the centuries, in the beginning of times, the growth was very linear. The speed at which the innovation was happening was slow, and this brings home probably the diffusion point. If something was built, if there was a steam engine being built, it took years for that steam engine to have an impact in India or in the rest part of the world. So if there was an electrification grid happening somewhere else, it was very difficult to get that innovation spread across the world. However, now with the current technologies, you can build something in India and really reach any person in the world. So this is one big factor which puts us and everybody else on a very level equaling field where we can develop for the rest of the world. I think we talked a little bit about the attention span. So here, again, I don't know if it needed a graph to prove me the point, but how little we pay attention to things these days, where the consumer or the customer wants everything in the minute. There is a lot of that 10-minute delivery service and all of these things that are coming, and they will continue to pivot and find a sustainable business model. and everybody wants an individualistic services, which were very difficult to give 5, 10, 20 years ago. Again, when we look at the data explosion, all of us are generating humongous amounts of data. From the larger organizations to individuals to machines, everybody is a source of data. And what is different in today's world is we are not afraid to share this data to train the algorithms to be personalized for us. All of us have used ChatGPT in one way or form where we shared a lot of personal data with the bot to give the answer more personalized for us. So the data is growing at a faster rate. There is now technology now in different forms where we can securize it and share it with different companies to give and get personalized answers. And on compute power, the growth has been phenomenal, right? So Moore's law in 1965, which got refined in 1975, was on the number of transistors on the same circuit will double every year. And this has held consistent since 1975. So you can imagine the growth. So basically, in simple words, in the same, let's say, square inch, how many transistors can you put physically without being them burning down has doubled over the it doubles every year. So and if I can take you back a few decades, so there were a lot of bomb shelters built across Europe during World War II. A lot of these bomb shelters have been repurposed to be used as data centers now. So now imagine you have the same meter square, maybe let's say 10 times size of this room, where you can just increase the capacity twice every year. And this has been going on for years. So the amount of compute available to all of us is huge, and with potentially with the click of a button, right? The rise of algorithms. And I take this example, it's a very famous picture where the algorithm has to detect which of these boxes have a dog or a muffin. And there was a huge breakthrough in the ImageNet competition in 2012, where the algorithms did better than humans in this kind of image recognition scenarios, which opened up a huge industry of use cases where technology has disrupted and surpassed human excellence. I'll take two examples. So a company that makes diapers, they take picture of every diaper. Before they had humans sitting on the production lines, and they will say, if the diaper quality gets bad, they will stop the machine, figure out where the problem is, and it would create a huge amount of wastage, it will create a huge amount of shutdown, it will cause them inefficiency and operation excellence. Now the same production machine runs with a AI based image recognition software, where a diaper is checked in milliseconds if it is of the quality of standard they want or not. So now they produce higher quality diapers. They use a lot of data from the plant to see where the problem might be coming from if a diaper is coming out to be of bad quality. So overall they have increased their efficiency and they have decreased their costs, which is what, let's say, we are all solving for in some way or another. Car makers in Europe, a lot of them are using image recognition now to figure out if the car that has been built is completely aligned with the specifications you had ordered it with. So there are hundreds of use cases that have come up in the last 10-20 years. One that we use every day is the Face ID login to our mobile phones. This came up a few years ago, thanks to all this growth in the algorithms that are built on AI. If we move to the next one, the two competing forces, crowdsourcing and talent crunch. So on one way, there is humongous work happening in the open source world. A lot of the work that large companies did, they have open sourced it, so more and more people are coming and developing algorithms, developing new ways. All the container thing that came from Google, it has all been open source. So a lot of stuff is being done by communities of people, which is accelerating the growth. So now somebody in India can build upon somebody's work done elsewhere in the world, and then everybody is building on each other's work, which is giving a speed of development innovation that was not possible before. And on the other hand, there is a huge talent shortage in the world. So there are more, I think, jobs available in India than the people looking for jobs, but there is a skills gap there, which is another topic. But a lot of AI algorithms and the work that we can do through AI can help us mitigate that talent shortage. A lot of automation, a lot of image recognition, and these kind of things are helping us with handling with the talent shortage. So when we take all of these points together, humongous growth in data, compute power that is available to process that data, algorithms that allow you to process that huge amount of data with the computation power you have, then you can talent source a lot of that, crowdsource all of that to build solutions for you. You are easily able to manage an impatient customer, but still give them a personalized experience. So that's why I think the hype around AI is not real. This is going to change a lot of our work, life, and most importantly, it brings everybody on the same level, equaling field, so we can go all and compete with the largest organizations in the world. Thank you and good luck.